Believe it or not, I actually really like achievement hunting on Steam games. I'm phrasing it like that because I basically never mentioned the topic of achievements in any of my videos before, even though I spend a lot of time hunting for them. The main problem I have with Steam achievements is how they're too anarchistic. Any game can add however many they want, and they're all treated equally, as a number on your account. This can make it kind of difficult to distinguish difficult achievements from easy ones, but thankfully there are community websites that track Steam achievements and assign values to them, similar to Xbox achievements or PlayStation trophies. I'm saying all of this to emphasize the fact that I like having side challenges or getting an achievement for experiencing a lucky or skilled moment. I also like playing Pyro. Because of those two factors, I sometimes wish there were even more achievements that I could strive to obtain when playing this game. So I came up with 20 ideas for new Pyro achievements. I mostly designed them around the idea that using certain weapons for a while will eventually result in the player getting the achievement, but some of these ideas are also based on specific skill or luck related situations. I would also like to mention that I am not a graphic designer in any way, shape or form, so please consider my visual designs that contain a lot of recycled assets as rough sketches, since the main purpose is to discuss these ideas, not so much to express them in JPEGs. And B, I am not taking into account how difficult it would be to actually implement these ideas into the game. Aside from not being a graphic designer, I'm also not a programmer either. With all of this in mind, let's begin. Now then, I'm sure some of you already knew I was going to bring this weapon up, so let's go over it quickly. Doctor-assisted suicide would be rewarded by killing a total of 20 medics by using the third degree and attacking the healing targets instead of the medic directly. The name of this achievement is a spoof on this already existing medic achievement. Similarly to that previous achievement, Full Circuit would be obtained by getting any kind of triple kill with the third degree. The strict condition is that all three enemies have to die in the same hit with no delays. External combustion would be rewarded by destroying a total of 100 sticky bombs with explosions. This basically means that you would be limited to using the detonator or the scorch shot to get the achievement. Falling Star would be obtained by blast jumping and getting a melee kill before touching the ground. I purposefully called it blast jumping because this includes air blasted enemy explosives, as well as detonator jumps, or scorch shot jumps if you're feeling extra spicy. Basically, whether you choose to perform a blast jump with your own weapons or by air blasting enemy projectiles, as long as you perform the equivalent to a market gardener kill, you'll be eligible for the achievement. Energy conversion would require you to fully charge a Phlogistinator by only using the sharpened volcano fragment. This weapon is notoriously underpowered because of how little impact the afterburn makes. At most, you can get 60 afterburn damage from a single swing, and that's assuming the target doesn't get extinguished in any way. The Phlog itself requires 300 points of fire damage to be fully charged, so there would be some work ahead of you given how you can't use secondary weapons or the Phlog itself to charge the Phlog meter, as this would invalidate the challenge. Speaking of the Phlog, Wildfire would require you to kill 5 or more players during a single Phlog charge. I know this weapon has a bad reputation for being kind of a click-to-win weapon, but we also have to keep in mind how this mentality appeared because of experienced players using the Phlog while having pocket medics and typically playing maps like Gold Rush or Dust Bowl that enabled this kind of playstyle to thrive. Realistically, many different weapons can become just as powerful with those bonuses factored in, so I feel like this achievement's existence would be justified. Air Conditioner would require you to extinguish a total of 100 teammates with the Man Melter. Even though this weapon is situational, I personally believe it's very underappreciated since you can extinguish people for free, and in return you get healed 20 points as well as a guaranteed crit on your next shot. This also leads us to Heated Retribution, which would require you to extinguish a teammate with the Man Melter and use the guaranteed crit that you just obtained to kill an enemy player. All of this needs to happen within 10 seconds in order for the achievement to be valid. Air Shield will require you to air blast projectiles from 4 different classes in a single life. Soldiers and demos are easy pickings in this regard, but the next 2 classes might be tougher to deal with. Scouts have the Mad Milk, the Cleaver, the Baseball, and the Ornament. Other Pyros have flare weapons and the Dragon's Fury. Engineers have Rescue Ranger bolts and Sentry rockets, which are actually very predictable since sentry guns always act the same. Medics have the crossbow, while snipers have arrows and the Jurati. All in all, I'd say this is one of the tougher achievements on this list because it requires you to stay alive for a while, and it also requires a bit of class diversity on the enemy team. Speaking of Air Blast, Firebolt would require you to airblast an already burning Huntsman arrow and hit an enemy player. I'm not afraid to admit that this one is even more situational than the previous one, but it did happen to me enough times that I would consider it a valid challenge, and not something that happens every 5 billion years or so. Similarly to that one, Bushfire would be obtained by igniting a total of 50 arrows for snipers on your team. This achievement may be slightly grindy, but at least it would finally encourage pyros to support their friendly snipers, as from my experience, this is an extremely underutilized game mechanic. Technical error would be obtained by killing a total of 20 engineers with their own sentry guns rockets. This is one of those things that appear a lot more difficult on the surface than they actually are. As I mentioned previously, sentry guns are very predictable, and after some practice, timing your air blasts against sentries becomes muscle memory. Mixon was able to hilariously demonstrate what this looks like in one of his previous videos, so I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check out the full thing. Dodgeball would be obtained by getting a reflect kill with a projectile that was already reflected by another pyro. As long as the projectile in question had been reflected at least once by at least 2 different pyros, the last pyro who deflected it would get the achievement. Merciful Man would be obtained by extinguishing someone who was just 1 afterburn tick away from burning to death. If this achievement ever gets added, I really hope it doesn't start encouraging people to leave their teammates burning in a vain attempt at getting this achievement. Ace Arsonist will require you to deal 1000 fire damage in a single life without relying on primary weapons at all. This basically means that you're restricted to using flare weapons and possibly the volcano fragment. This might sound harsh, but let's face it, everyone would just use the shotgun or go on the Groot Keep and get the achievement by using melee weapons. Speaking of melee weapons, Healthy Gardener would be obtained by getting a total of 10,000 additional healing from using the Back Scratcher. But what does additional healing mean in this context? Allow me to explain. By using this weapon, health packs and dropped lunchbox items give you 50% more healing. For this achievement, any added healing as a result of using this weapon is considered additional healing. Let's say you have 1 health. If you pick up a small health pack without the Back Scratcher, you get healed 36 health. If you do the same with the weapon equipped, you will instead receive 54 health. In this case, the additional healing was 18, so your achievement progress would be 18 as well. Marathon Runner would be obtained by moving a total of 42 kilometers while holding out the power jack. Given how the whole point of the weapon is to increase your mobility, as long as you use it frequently and as intended, you should eventually get the achievement. One thing Pyro is known for is for being the only class other than Engie that can remove sappers. As such, I think it would be appropriate to reward players with home security after destroying a total of 100 enemy sappers. Just a small reminder, the Home Wrecker is not the only weapon that can remove sappers. The Neon Annihilator can also serve this purpose, albeit less efficiently. The last 2 achievement ideas that I have for today are both in relation to the Home Wrecker specifically. Miniature Menace would be obtained by destroying 10 mini-sentries with the Home Wrecker. Why mini-sentries? Because the Home Wrecker can one-shot them at full health, which is actually a more efficient strategy at dealing with them if they happen to be getting repaired from a distance. Also, it's just satisfying. The final achievement idea that I would like to share today is for the Deconstructor. To get this one, you would need to destroy a sentry gun, a dispenser, and a teleport all in 1 life by only using the Home Wrecker. This is nothing too difficult, but I think it's a fun little side challenge to encourage Home Wrecker use outside of babysitting sentry nests. And those would be all of my achievement ideas for today. I had a few more that I wanted to discuss, but I figured they were either unnecessary or I didn't know how to illustrate them. Regardless, I would love to hear what you guys have to say about these achievement proposals, and please let me know if you would like to see more of this kind of content. As always, thank you for watching, and take care.